They have free water back there. Yeah, there's free water over there. There. Right over there.
If they're cups of water, they're not bottles.
Oh. You need a water? Thank you so much. Your name.
No, it's not. We're poor.
Jordan, Air Jordan.
Got the whole family turning on me.
$10 at Walmart. They're like iron.
They will be out of style. I know,
These shoes are brought to the airport.
Buy her them now. Since you're all for it.
Tangerine.
Media!
President Joukowsky, the candidates for degrees and certificates have been assembled. The faculty and staff members are in their places. Regent Howery and Capital East Regional President Steinmetz are present. The 57th annual commencement exercises of Three Rivers Community College are officially in session.
Podium party, please be seated, as well as our faculty in the audience. Before we begin our commencement ceremony tonight, I would like to do a preface to the ceremony, given the events that happened in Texas. Good afternoon. My name is Mary Ellen Dukoski. I am president of Three Rivers Community College. Yesterday, we all learned of the tragedy in Texas. We are all grieving and mourning those sweet children and teachers that were lost in a senseless act of violence. We mourn as a nation. We mourn as a community. We mourn here today together. We will pray for the parents and the families, the first responders and medical workers. We will pray for Texas and our nation. But we must go on. We cannot let senseless violence overcome what is good and what you have all accomplished today. We are here today to celebrate you and your achievements. You are our Three Rivers graduates. You are our future and you are our hope. As you leave here today, we look to you to make this a better world. Please let us have a moment of silence for those we lost yesterday.
Good afternoon. I'm Kem Barfield, Dean of Academic and Student Affairs at Three Rivers Community College. It is my honor to preside today over the college's 57th annual commencement ceremony. Thank you, Grand Marshal Professor Edwin Menzner and Faculty Marshals Todd Berry, Associate Professor of English Anne Lamondi, Professor of Nursing, Lillian Rayfelt, Associate Professor of Nursing, and Nicola Ricker, Associate Professor of Science. Thank you to our procession leader, Piper Professor of Anthropology, William O'Hare. This year, we are delighted to have the national anthem sung by Three Rivers Middle College Magnet High School student, Iris Davies. Iris is a junior at Three Rivers Middle College Magnet High School, located here at Three Rivers. She is currently taking college classes while in high school and is a member of National Honor Society. She is a songwriter, a singer, and performer. One of her career highlights is that she was in the cast of the Sound of Music National Broadway Tour. Iris, would you please join me at the podium? And please rise for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Iris. That was beautiful. We are so very proud of you and wish continued success during your studies here at Three Rivers Middle College. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce those seated on stage. Please stand when you are introduced and remain standing through the introductions. Dr. Mary Ellen Jacoski, President, Three Rivers Community College. Regent Holly Howery, Connecticut Board of Trustees for Higher Education, who brings greetings from the Board of Regents for Higher Education. Dr. Rob Steinmetz, Regional President, Capital East Region for the Connecticut Community Colleges. Edwin Mensner, Professor of Accounting and Grand Marshal. Joseph Salvaggio, Department Chair, Professor of English and Faculty Speaker. Stephen Getchis, Dean of Administrative Services, who will be introducing the degree candidates. Tom Bailey, Associate Dean of Campus Operations, who will also be introducing the degree candidates. Dr. Mark Trementozzi, President of Three Rivers Community College Foundation. Betty Belargin, Director of Institutional Advancement, who will give the alumni charge. Amber D'Souza. Amber will give the student graduate address. Lorenzo Enderle, President of Three Rivers Student Government Association. And Joy Valenti, who will be signing for us today. Thank you for joining us today as you can be seated. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the accomplishments of our wonderful students. They are the center of our world at Three Rivers, and as a college, we strive to serve them to our fullest ability. At this time, I would like to ask the following students to please come forward. Lorenzo Enderle. We're going to do a multi-language presentation. So Lorenzo Enderle, Jessica Dorles, Kroll, Melanie Stanley, Mayanne Evans, Sandy Yufang Hua. And Lorenzo is going to be doing the presentation in English. Jessica is doing it in Creole. Melanie is going to be Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese. And May is speaking in Tagalog. And Sandy will do Mandarin. And Rita Satima will do Urdu. And Adelaida Cerizli will do Spanish.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please allow me to offer my welcome in the language of English. Thank you for joining us today at the 57th commencement of Three Rivers Community College. My name is Lorenzo Enderle, and I am a student here at Three Rivers Community College. I am in the Environmental Engineering Technology program. We are here to celebrate you and your accomplishment. Some of you are here to celebrate the graduation and accomplishments of a daughter or a son, or family member or a friend. We are all here to celebrate our graduates, each and every one of you, because you are all spectacular and awesome, and we hope you are proud of you. You are all our future. We hope you enjoy today's celebration, and you and those who cannot be here today will be able to view today's recorded celebration after the commencement on the Three Rivers website. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Please allow me to offer a welcome in my language, Creole. Bonsoir tout le monde. Merci parce que jodi a ou vini dans 57e cérémonie graduation dans Three Rivers Community College. Non, moi c'est Jessica Dorelus. Moi c'est un étudiant dans Three Rivers. Nous là jodi a pour nous célébrer étudiants sa yo et sa yo accompli pendant yo dans l'école là. gen nan nou ki la ki pou celebre yon sè, yon frè, yon petite fille, yon petit garçon, yon membre nan famille nou ou bien yon zami. Nou chak ki la ap celebre yon moun paske ap gradué, yo fè yon bagay ki espesyal nan la vi yo. Nou espere ke wap enjoy seremoni sa jodi ya, ou menm ki la, ou ki pa gen chans la jodi ya, ou gen posibilite pou gade graduasyon sa apre seremoni an sou page l'ekol la. Mwen souhaite nou pase yon bon moment et yon bon après-midi. Que bon Dieu bénisse nous. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Please allow me to offer a welcome in my language in Tagalog. Thank you. Maraming salamat po sa pagdalo ngayon araw sa 57th commencement ng Three Rivers Community College. Ang pangalan ko ay May Ann Evans at ako ay estudyante dito sa Three Rivers at sa program ng General Studies Program. Narito kami lahat upang magpagdiwang ang aming mga natapos bawat sa inyo dahil lahat kayo ay kahanga-hanga at naisahan naming ipagmamalaki kayo. Kayo lahat ang kinabukasan. Sana ay masaya kayo sa pagdiriwang ngayon. Salamat po and thank you. Good afternoon. Please allow me to offer a welcome in my language of Mandarin. 感谢各位贵宾今天莅临参加三和社区大学第57届毕业典礼。我的名字是花玉芳，我是三和社区大学护士课程的毕业生。我们在这里庆祝我们的毕业，全部的人一起庆祝。因为你们全部都是最棒的、成功的，我们希望你们以自己为荣，你们是我们的未来，希望你们好好享受今天的毕业典礼，谢谢。
Good afternoon. Please allow me to welcome you in the languages of Japanese and Portuguese. こんにちは。私の名前はメイラン・スタンリー。私の日本語のよこそを教えてください。本日は Three Rivers Community College の50回目の卒業式にご参加いただきありがとうございます。私はプログラムのグラフィックデザイン3つの科の学生です。私たちはみんな私たちの卒業生を祝うためのここにいます。あなたの一人一人、あなたはすべて素晴らしくて素晴らしいので、私たちはあなたがあなたの一人のおめでいることを願っています。あなたはすべて私たちの未来です。今日のお祝いを楽しめください。ありがとうございます。And I will also offer a welcome in Portuguese. Boas tarde. Por favor, permita-me oferecer boas-vindas no meu português. Obrigada por ser professor hoje no 57 NG do Three Rivers Community College. Meu nome é Melanie Stanley. Soy alumno en Tres Ríos no programa de Design Gráfico. Estamos todos aquí para celebrar nuestros graduados. Cada uno de vos, porque vos son todos espectaculares y increíbles y esperamos que es orgulloso de vos. Vos es todo nuestro futuro. Esperamos que tenham gostado da festa de hoje. Obrigada.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please allow me to give my welcome message in Spanish. Buenas tardes. Permítanme ofrecerles una cordial bienvenida en nombre de todo el personal de Three Rivers Community College. Muchísimas gracias por estar hoy aquí celebrando el acto académico número 57 de esta gran institución educativa. Mi nombre es Adelaida Serisley y trabajo en la oficina del decano académico. Queridos graduados, hoy celebramos su esfuerzo, su dedicación y su tenacidad. Sabemos que no fue fácil, pero ustedes trabajaron arduamente hasta el final y jamás se dieron por vencidos. Siéntanse felices y orgullosos de este gran logro. Nosotros estamos convencidos de que ustedes hoy representan nuestro futuro. De igual manera, queremos agradecerles a todas esas personas que están aquí hoy acompañando a algún familiar, a su hijo, hija o algún amigo. Para todas aquellas personas que no pudieron estar presentes en el día de hoy, podrán ver la grabación del acto después de la culminación de este evento. Visiten nuestra página web de Three Rivers Community College. Thank you very much. Gracias.
Thank you all for sharing your beautiful language with all of us today. I am sure you provided many here today with some comfort and perhaps a sense of belonging, a community, a family. Let's give them a big hand for coming up. At Three Rivers, we strive to assist our students in being academically successful and having an enriching academic experience. We, the faculty and staff at Three Rivers, are eternally encouraged and steadfastly supported in this important endeavor by a strong and fearless president. We are deeply grateful for her leadership. Again, it is my honor to introduce President Mary Ellen Jacoski.
Thanks, Kim. Let us give our students who offered greetings in various languages that represent our college community and our diversity here a round of applause. As I was sitting here today, all I could think of were the words "El pluribus unum," out of many one. And that is what we are, many different people who represent diverse backgrounds, but we are one country, one nation, and so let us celebrate our diversity, our equity, and inclusion, which is a mission of Three Rivers Community College. It is one that we are committed to and one that we celebrate on a day like today. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Dean Barfield, Regent Howery, Regional President Rob Steinmetz, Foundation Chair Mark Tramatose. Thank you all for joining us today. Congratulations, graduates, on this spectacular day. We couldn't have asked for better weather. This ceremony is one of my favorite days of the academic year. Today, we celebrate and honor you, our graduates. You number almost 400, and you come from all walks of life, each with your own unique story. You chose to enroll at Three Rivers for its affordable, accessible education. And here you are today. We are gathered to celebrate you and your accomplishments this evening. I want to highlight the diversity and achievements of you, Our students, as I call your name, would you please stand and be recognized? Jerry is a student from New London, earning an Associate's in Science Environmental Engineering Technology degree. Jerry attended Three Rivers for 2 years, along with taking summer courses. She plans on pursuing her bachelor's degree at UConn Agricultural and Natural Resources, so she can be part of the urban farming movement. She learned about urban farming at a summit and wants to pursue a career to spread the word about improving accessibility to urban farming and helping farmers deal with the impact of climate change. Thank you, Jerry. Philip Burns, would you please stand? Philip is graduating with an AS in Construction Technology. Philip served in the Navy for 11 years and then faced the questions of how to start a new career and provide for his wife and children. After spending some time working, he took the leap and enrolled at TRCC. His professors, along with Mark Comeau, made it easy to want to learn and give his best effort on every assignment. It wasn't easy. During COVID, he was a full-time student while his 5 sons were also home with him, and he had to facilitate their learning as well as keeping up with his courses as his wife was away on active military duty. Since completing his degree in the fall, Philip was immediately hired as a project coordinator, CAD technician for Shoreline Stone. Philip said he has tremendous gratitude to TRCC, the staff, and his family for all the support he received as he was going through his journey. Mustafa Bello. Oh, there he is. Okay, great. Mustafa Bello is graduating with an AS in Computer Science Technology and a Data Analytics certificate, as well as being recognized by Phi Theta Kappa for the All-American team. Like many of our students, Mustafa completed his degree while working and caring for his family. When the pandemic first closed the school, Mustafa balanced his own education with being the primary parent at home, helping his 2 young children with their at-home learning. He had a wonderful experience with professors at Three Rivers who all wanted to see him succeed and were willing to work with him. Mustafa is a huge fan of Three Rivers and has even convinced 2 of his co-workers at Mohegan Sun to begin attending. Next, he's being accepted to several 4-year universities, and he'll decide where he will continue his bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. May I ask Gwen Opert to stand? Gwen Opert from East Killingly, Connecticut, started her educational journey over 20 years ago. In 2002 at the University of Rhode Island, she took her first class at Three Rivers in 2006, but had to leave and come back. She will be pursuing a nursing position at Day Kimball Hospital and will be earning a BA in nursing at Charter Oak and is hoping to graduate in December 2023. She serves as president of the Student Nursing Association, and she is the proud mother of 10-year-old twins and an almost 20-year-old. Congratulations, Jen. Gwen, on your perseverance. Next, would Emmy Romanelli please stand? There she is. Emmy is a graphic design major who intends to pursue a bachelor's degree either at Central or Johnson & Wales, where she has been accepted. She began her education at TRCC right after high school and has been taking courses for the past 3 years. She chose not to graduate last year so she wouldn't have to transfer in the middle of COVID, and worked in the print shop on campus. Working remotely gave her some of the versatility she'll need for the future type of work she'll be doing. Completing an internship at Rose City Festival really gave her the opportunity to see the work she would be doing with a career in graphic design. She is the first in her family to graduate from college. She says that TRCC was the perfect choice because she saved so much money by doing her first 2 years here, and the community at TRCC was a welcoming group and a comfortable community. The graphic design program atmosphere was cooperative and motivated her to work harder because the group tended to build off each other. Congratulations. Would Rita Fatima please stand? There you are. Rita is in the CSCU transfer degree program in business studies. She came to the US from Gujarat, Pakistan in 2017 and to Norwich in 2018, where she attended NFA. She took a CSCU pathway transfer degree in business studies and will be moving on to Eastern Connecticut University, where she will be getting a bachelor's in accounting. Although her experience at Three Rivers was entirely during the pandemic, she really enjoyed her experience here. She was a student worker that took all online classes, and the environment that she worked in was welcoming and supportive. Her professors during the pandemic were also very understanding of the challenges that all of the students were facing and were extremely helpful. Congratulations. Next, I'd like Gina Conover to please stand. Gina Conover is receiving her Certified Clinical Medical Assistant Associate's degree today. She is a mom, a wife, a phlebotomist, and a human resources employee with a successful past education and a career. A few years ago, she was diagnosed with cancer and was introduced to a new world that she wanted to be part of. She worked with Allied Health Coordinator Luann Wolf to make a plan for her degree. And after talking with her past radiologist, Three Rivers was able to add Smilow Cancer Center to our externship sites. Gina completed her 160th externship hours at Smilow and was offered and accepted a job. Hooray! A true testament that life sometimes takes you in directions you never knew were going to be, and you are never too old to follow your heart. The students who I asked to stand are just a sampling of the broad array of students who come to Three Rivers Community College. So on behalf of the faculty and staff, I want to say congratulations to all of you. You have our best wishes for success. We also have some graduates who are young at heart. Sandra Bailey, 69 years young with a library technology certificate. Thank you. And Carmen Durham, 69 years young with a certificate in case management. We also celebrate students from our local communities. We have 58 students from NFA that are graduating today, 33 from Fitch in Groton, 23 from Ledyard, 18 from Montville, 17 from Griswold High School, 14 from Bacon Academy. There are 411 of you receiving degrees, with 11 graduates receiving 2 degrees, and 7 of you receiving a degree and a certificate. Congratulations on your hard work and perseverance. For so many of you here today, you are the first in your family to earn a degree. Would you please rise if you are the first in your family to earn a degree? Thank you. If you worked full or part-time while earning a degree, would you please stand? We give you an A+ in time management. Three Rivers Community College enjoys a unique partnership with Lalerne Middle High School. This partnership allows 60 students selected by lottery from surrounding towns to complete their junior and senior years of high school, while at the same time enrolling in Three Rivers Community College classes. About 10 to 13 graduating seniors enroll at Three Rivers each fall. Recently, the Middle College Magnet School was named one of the U.S. News and Report Best Magnet Schools. Congratulations. Today, we have one student graduating from Three Rivers Middle College Magnet High School. Would Alana Woodhams please stand? Alana is our youngest graduate with a Three Rivers General Studies Associate's degree and a Library Technology certificate. She is an exceptional student with a 3.8 GPA, earning over 60 credits. She is focused on a Library Sciences degree and will have completed the Library Technology certificate, which is a 27 credit hour program. She is the first student from the Middle College to complete this program. She is very active in the community and currently interning and volunteering at the Groton Public Library. Since 2015, Alana, this is a great accomplishment, and I'm sure you make a great difference being a volunteer and also interning. We welcome you to the family of our Three Rivers graduates. Thank you all. You may be seated. Today, I would also like to acknowledge another component of our Three Rivers community, our veteran students. Our graduates from the class of 2022 and those who are pursuing their education, as well as the families and friends of these graduates. I would also like to ask all of our veterans present if you are able to stand along with our veteran students so we can honor your service to our country. Please stand, veterans. Thank you. Today, I speak to all our graduates and say, this is your day to celebrate your commitment to learning, the effort and dedication and investment to pursue your education, and your perseverance to make this day possible. Graduates, I hope that Three Rivers Community College has been a place that ignited the spark of learning that will cause you to be a lifelong learner. A place that introduced you to the value of the liberal arts. A place that instilled in you the desire to strive for excellence academically, personally, and professionally. A place where individual faculty members have touched your lives in ways you never would have imagined. A place that provided a solid academic foundation for you to choose a profession to pursue that will allow you to make a difference in the lives of others. And finally, a place where relationships will lead to lasting friendships. As you do so, there are family and friends who join you today who know well your educational journey. Graduates, as you celebrate your accomplishments and a new beginning and a new future of opportunity made possible in part by family and friends, please stand and turn around and salute your faithful supporters and enthusiastic cheerleaders. Graduates, we are so happy to share this day with you and the promise of a bright future and all the possibilities that will bring. And now it is my honor to introduce Regent Holly Hollery, who brings greetings on behalf of the Connecticut Board of Regents for Higher Education. Regent Hollery was appointed by Governor Malloy in 2018 to serve on the Board of Regents for Higher Education and currently serves on the boards Human Resources, and Administration Committee. In addition to her role as a board regent, she is an associate director for a media firm located in Connecticut. Like many of you, Regent Howry has experienced the challenges many of you face to pursue your higher educational goals while working full-time. We welcome Regent Howry to Three Rivers.
Hello everyone, my name is Holly Howry, and I am honored to serve on the Connecticut Board of Regents for Higher Education. On behalf of my fellow regents, I am delighted to offer greetings and congratulations to each member of the class of 2022, along with our sincere gratitude to the parents, families, friends, and others who have supported today's graduates throughout their educational journeys. Of course, this is a unique commencement because everything our students have done to get to this point, and your support networks have played an even more important role in recent years. Today is a significant milestone in achieving your higher education goals, and the Board of Regents could not be more proud of your hard-earned success. On behalf of the entire board, we extend to you our heartfelt congratulations, along with our hopes that each of you pursue your dreams, whether through continuing your education, entering the workforce, or something else entirely, with the same dedication and perseverance that brought you to this day of success and celebration. I would also like to give special recognition to the faculty and staff who helped you get to this point. Their expertise, passion, and dedication contributed so much to the quality of your educational experience. So to all CSCU employees, thank you. Absolutely. To the class of 2022, you are the future of Connecticut, and I offer you sincere congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Howry, for your special wishes for our graduates and for being with us to celebrate this wonderful day. Thank you for your words of wisdom and best wishes for our graduates. And now, Mark Tramontozzi joins us to extend greetings from the Three Rivers College Foundation.
Good afternoon, everybody, graduates, family, and friends. My name is Mark Tramontozzi, and it is my great honor to congratulate you on your academic accomplishments on behalf of the Three Rivers College Foundation as President of the Board of Directors. The foundation, as some of you may know, is comprised of leaders in our community who believe in the transformative power of education. The College Foundation exists to advance the educational opportunities available at Three Rivers, including the oversight and stewardship of scholarship funds that benefit our students. Over the last 2 years, the foundation has awarded over $1 million in scholarships and awards. This incredible support is thanks to the generosity of donors in our community, donors like Three Rivers alumni, faculty, staff, community foundations, and corporate partners, all working together to support students like yourselves. The foundation wants to send each of you on your journey with a reminder of your achievement today. All around us in the back, you may see a sea of graduate signs, one for each of you, and I've been told they're in alphabetical order to make them easier to find, for successfully completing your certificate or degree. When the ceremony is over and you have taken photos with your friends and family, remember to take your graduate sign, display it proudly at your home. Remember all that you have accomplished thus far, and that you have a special journey ahead of you. The Three Rivers College Foundation is excited to see how each of you will strengthen our shared community of Southeastern Connecticut. Congratulations and thank you all.
And now, greetings from the faculty will be shared by Joseph Salvaggio, Department Chair and Professor of English.
Good evening, graduates, family, friends, and special guests. On behalf of the faculty at Three Rivers Community College, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this commencement exercise and congratulate you, the class of 2022. What a moment. What a courageous journey you have taken. Many of you began this journey as the world shifted during a global pandemic, but you persisted. We are here in person, celebrating with each other because you persisted. This is your moment. Our commencement began with the melodious sounds of the bagpipes and the majestic march of pomp and circumstance. Music often marks the important moments in our lives. A musician, a friend of mine, once told me that they believed music happens in the space between the notes. I believe, like notes in a score of music, life happens in the space between the moments. Our lives are punctuated by important moments: births, marriages, deaths, and graduations. I graduated from a community college in New Jersey almost 30 years ago. And that moment was the start of a journey that brought me here with all of you today. Like notes in a piece of music, in our lives there will be highs and lows. Some moments are short, staccato. Some connect in relationship to others, and some sustain themselves, while each remain a part of the whole. Yet, what shapes and defines our lives are not these events, these moments. What defines our lives are the things we do in the space between them. The relationships we build, the kindness we offer to others, the empathy we show to those who are suffering, and the joy we take in being on our journey. So again, on behalf of the faculty at Three Rivers Community College, the best community college in Connecticut, go forward. Go forward on your journey, not just celebrating the big moments like this, but celebrating the space in between them. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Salvaggio, for your warm and thoughtful wishes for our graduates. And now, greetings from the Student Government Association will be shared by SGA President Lorenzo Enderle.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of the Student Government Association, I welcome you. You have all been tested in these past few years, and so I feel that you deserve candor. Many will come to you and speak of resilience, and I know personally how much this describes all of you at so many different instances. I have seen it, and I am grateful every day to have had the privilege to have known many of you, to have seen you grow, make friends, struggle, and to bounce back. But I'm not here to speak to your resilience. I speak to those moments where we fell short, where we fell prey to instant gratification, and where we lost our way. I speak to that voice at the back of your head that does not listen when others praise how strong we were to have had made it this far. It is worthy of love. You are worthy of love. And not because you succeeded in so many places where others fell, but because some part of you insisted that your story did not end there. Not a one of us is perfect, but we exist in imperfect times. Here we are now, still dazed by what comes next and what came before, in that weird fugue state right after finals. I look out across all of you, And I can't help but imagine a boulder balanced such that once it begins its path, it will proceed to its destination regardless of the bumps it meets, regardless of the deviations in its path. The world is in dire need of your compassion, your jokes, your blunders, and your triumphs, just as we were in need of you when you first arrived at Three Rivers. Through circumstance or not, you know the obstacles placed in the way. You know that things will not quite be the same, but you must also know that you will persist, not because you have faced incredible trials to get to this point, but because it is who and what you are. Thank you for these past few years together. I wish you well in your journey, and I look forward to seeing you all again.
Thank you, Lorenzo, for your thoughtful and meaningful words for our graduates today. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Amber D'Souza, who will give the student address. Amber is a 2022 graduate receiving a major in general studies and an associate's in science, as she displayed continued academic excellence by earning a 4.0 GPA and the Dean's List over the last 3 years. 31-year-old student, she began her educational resume as a Three Rivers Community College student in 2008 for an associate's in early childhood education. In 2014, following the birth of her 2 sons, she completed the phlebotomy technician licensing for healthcare professionals and instructors through Three Rivers Community College. Making her education one of her main priorities, Amber returned to Three Rivers in 2019 to pursue an education in nursing and ultimately a future nursing career. December 15, 2021, she succeeded with the completion of her first degree. In January 2022, on her nursing entrance exam, she scored an advanced placement rank on, and this spring she has worked mindfully to fulfill her final nursing prerequisites. On April 8th, 2022, on her nursing entrance exam, she received her acceptance into the community college nursing program at Three Rivers for fall 2022. She hopes this is only the beginning of a lifelong journey of education. I present to you Amber D'Souza. Amber, will you please join me at the podium?
Thank you. Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome all who have joined us today to celebrate the graduates that sit before us. First and foremost, I would like to thank the incredible educators, administration, and colleagues of Three Rivers Community College. Without your unconditional support today, may not have come for many of us. When I look around at my fellow graduates, I feel so fortunate to be amongst such a diverse student body. I see students that come from all walks of life and all phases of life. What a magnificent sight to be seen. Our graduating class exemplifies the community that Three Rivers strives for. As I stand here, I can't help but wonder what obstacles were faced along our journey to graduation. Were there unbearably tall mountains that you thought you would never scale? Or were there deep valleys you couldn't imagine climbing out of? As I consider these reflections, I applaud each incredible and individual journey of our graduating class. Not just because we've accomplished and succeeded completion of a degree, but also for the unseen work that was put in every single day. The self-discipline, sleepless nights, sacrifices, and self-growth that was accumulated along the way. Whether today is the closing of a chapter or the beginning of a brilliant new chapter, I acknowledge that this is a monumental milestone for each of us. Life is about choosing our own path. Experience seems to provide opportunities that lead in one direction or another, and inevitably, love and loss follow hand in hand. I never imagined I would be standing here today, due partly to the fact that a past version of myself was never thought to be much of an academic, and as life is full of surprises, my education was put on hold when I found out I was expecting my first son, and stayed on hold when I shortly thereafter had my second son. Motherhood at a young age offers understanding and perspective about what direction you may want to strive for when the time is right. Yet, I have the privilege to stand here today as a college graduate, not only for the love that I have for my children, but because of a great loss. In 2018, my youngest brother, at the young age of 17, was diagnosed with T-cell lymphoblastic lymphoma. He fought a valiant fight. Mournfully, just 10 months into his journey, and just hours into his 18th year, he passed. The nurses that tended to my brother and our family were extraordinary. The gratitude that filled my heart overflowed, and I thought to myself, if I could impact the lives of another family the way my brother's nurses did for ours, even just one, perhaps I could make sense of such an implausible loss. Heavy with grief, fear of the unknown, and with a small spark of hope, I chose to take a chance. I returned to school to further my education and pursue a nursing career. The obstacles that stood ahead of me were countless. Just one semester into this endeavor of education, a pandemic swept across the world. The coronavirus changed global humanity and our way of life. Schools were closed. Friends and families kept distance. Our lives became isolated and quiet. Every person that sits here today has been affected by COVID-19, probably in more ways than we could count. For my family, our household now had 3 virtual students in one small space. I recall waking up hours before the children and staying awake hours past bedtime to maintain my own schooling. My boys were young, and the struggles of schooling at home resulted in a very dependent relationship. The days were full, exhausting, and yet purposeful. Filled with determination to achieve my own aspirations, and with 2 little boys looking up to me, I rose to the occasion. I knew that because of them, nothing is impossible. As life amidst the pandemic again transitioned and the world began to open back up, I too had to adapt. We all did. Nevertheless, we all rose to the occasion. Here we are, college graduates, even amidst the pandemic. On April 8th, after years of continuous hard work and reaching academic goals that I had once persuaded myself to be unattainable, I received my acceptance into the Three Rivers Community College Nursing Program Fall 2022 class. My journey here at Three Rivers Community College is an illustration of what education is truly about. Three Rivers Community College unconditionally and encouragingly provided me with a chance. Life lays out different paths for you. Sometimes they are straightforward, and sometimes they are not. The intermingling of paths may become confusing, but when you choose to get through the thick of it, there's always another chance. Learning is a lifelong journey. It is always there awaiting you. In whichever direction your path of this journey takes you, remember, it will be what you make of it. Move forward with grace, move forward without fear, and always believe in yourself. It is because of you that you made it here today. Congratulations to us. Congratulations to the class of 2022.
All right. Thank you, Amber, for sharing with us your journey and your thoughtful and inspiring words. Each year, the Board of Regents presents medallions for academic excellence in recognition of outstanding academic accomplishment of associate degree graduates of community colleges. The criteria for the medallion are as follows. Recipients must be a graduating student who has earned a cumulative point ratio of 4.0. Recipients must have completed the degree requirements of an approved associate degree program. Recipients must have completed at least 50% of the degree requirements in residence at the community college awarding the degree. This year, we have 5 recipients who meet the criteria. I would like to ask the following graduates to join me on the stage for the awarding of the Medallions of Academic Excellence. Ariel Babbitt. Lilia Burdo. Balana Parangao. Stacy Smith. And Sarah Van Valkenburg. Chair Howery and President Jacoski will present the academic medallions.
Ariel, Lilia, Balana, Stacy, and Sarah. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I congratulate you on your outstanding academic accomplishment.
Okay. So we will present the medallions to each person now.
Congratulations to you on all of your accomplishments for the medallion winners. And now, the moment you have all worked so hard for, Regent Howery, will you please join me at the podium for the awarding of degrees? Regent Howery, as president of Three Rivers Community College, I present the candidates for the degree of Associate in Applied Science, the Associate in Arts, and the Associate in Science. Will the candidates for the associate degrees please rise? Regent Howery, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the necessary requirements as set forth by the Connecticut Board of Regents for Higher Education to be awarded the associate degree.
By order of the Board of Regents and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I now confer upon these candidates the degree of Associate in Applied Science, Associate in Arts, or the Associate in Science, and admit them to the honors, rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining thereto.
Graduates, you may be seated. Regent Howery, as president of Three Rivers Community College, I present the candidates for certificates. Will the candidates for certificates please rise? Regent Howery, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the necessary requirements set forth by the Connecticut Board of Regents for Higher Education to be awarded the certificate.
By order of the Board of Regents and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I now confer upon these candidates the certificate and admit them to the honors, rights, privileges, and obligations pertaining thereto.
Graduates, you may be seated. At this time, the graduates will be presented with their diplomas. Dean Getches and Associate Dean Tom Bailey will announce the graduates as they come forward and receive their diplomas.
The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Applied Science and Architectural Design Technology, greeted by Department Chair of Business and Technologies, Mark Camo. Joy Amarante, magna cum laude. Jonathan DeCourse. Emir Morina. Alexis Reyes Morales. Darren Swetlowski, summa cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Applied Science and Construction Technology, greeted by Department Chair of Business and Technologies, Mark Camo. Philip Burns, cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Arts and CSU Transfer Art Studies, greeted by Professor of Art, Sandra Jeknavorian. Balana Perengo, summa cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with Associate in Arts and CSU Transfer Biology Studies, greeted by Professor of Environmental Engineering Technology, Dr. Deba Khan-Bureau. Karina Huarte, also receiving an Associate in Science and General Studies. The next group of students will be graduating with Associate of Arts in CSU Transfer Business Studies, greeted by Professor of Business, Richard Bennett. Jessica Dorluz. Rita Fatima, cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with Associate of Arts and CSU Transfer Computer Science Studies, greeted by Department Chair of Business and Technologies, Mark Camo. Diego Aguilar, summa cum laude. Frederick Bacamonte, summa cum laude. Tristan Vassour. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate of Arts in CSU Transfer Mathematics Studies, greeted by Professor of Math, Dr. Kelly Mokenton. Hunter Frank. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate of Arts in CSU Transfer of Psychology Studies, greeted by Department Chair of Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Terrence Delaney. Alyssa Gomes Normal, cum laude. Danielle LaSalle, cum laude. Marianne Rice. Emily Robinson, cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with Associate of Arts at CSU Transfer of Social Work Studies, greeted by Department Chair of Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Terrence Delaney. Paige Cadigan. Lily Cotto, cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with Associate of Arts at CSU Transfer of Psychology Studies, greeted by Professor of Sociology and International Studies, Dr. Stephen Neufeld. Glendalise Rivera. Pauline Seeley Smith, magna cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate of Arts in Liberal Arts and Sciences, greeted by Professor of Sociology and International Studies, Dr. Stephen Neinfeld. Kayla Brackett. Vince Andre Bukoy. Lilia Burdo, summa cum laude. Aiden Carney. Janie Connors, magna cum laude. Excuse me. Cassandra Haggett. Easy for me. Marissa Hendrickson. Cameron Curraz, cum laude. Shannon Lathrop. Jenna Lucas, magna cum laude. Ariana Ortega. Krishna Patel, cum laude. Sonia Pierce. Kayla Rednant Sweat. Rebecca Rulo. Keely Sosha. Bethany Zahner, magna cum laude. Next group of students will be graduating with an Associate of Arts in Pathways to Teaching Careers, greeted by Professor of Early Childhood Education, Dr. Jennifer Nally. Savannah Eldridge, magna cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Arts and Visual Fine Arts, greeted by Professor of Arts, Sandra Jacknavarian. August Kerrigan, magna cum laude. Victoria Corrado. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Accounting career, greeted by Professor of Accounting Edward Minsner. Stanley Brown. Lemore Dufort. Megan Hessling. Katie Lamphere. Jack Mello, magna cum laude, also receiving an Associate in Science and Business Administration. Melissa Mondesier. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Business Administration, greeted by Professor of Business Nicole Coulter. Joseph Bernardo, cum laude. Benjamin Lyle. Next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Certified Clinical Medical Assistant, greeted by Allied Health Coordinator Luann Wolf. Connie Bedingfield, magna cum laude. Gina Conover, cum laude. Tiffany Delancey. Autumn Eamon. Madeline Ellis. Liza Estrella, cum laude. Jessica Hill. Elizabeth Jackson. Kaylee Kasich. Kelly Ann Kessler, cum laude, also receiving an Associate in Science and General Studies. Jesse Leckie, magna cum laude. Kesha Patel. Megan Rainville. Jacqueline Reyes Cruz. Alicia Topaz, magna cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Computer Science Technology, greeted by Department Chair of Business and Technologies, Mark Camo. Mustafa Bello, summa cum laude, also receiving a certificate in data analytics. Jeremy DeWitt, magna cum laude, also receiving a certificate in data analytics. Glenn Perez, cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Criminal Justice, greeted by Professor of Criminal Justice, Dr. Jeffrey Crouch. Ivana Elise Bonet. Grayson Britton. Ayla Capozzoli, cum laude. Paul Casanova. Logan Gagney, summa cum laude. Aaron Lanati. Stephen Radovan Rivera. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science in Early Childhood Education, greeted by Professor of Early Childhood Education, Sheila Scahan. Ariel Babbitt, summa cum laude. Deandra Boyden, cum laude. Jillian Geyer. Kelsey Gums. Sophie Hellweg. Stacy Johnson, magna cum laude. Jonah Cosma. Sarah Peterson. Elizabeth Polius. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Electrical Engineering Technology, greeted by Department Chair of Business and Technologies, Mark Camo. Eric Belsky, summa cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with Associate in Science and Engineering Science, greeted by Mark Camo. Sumare Ottawa Cabanas, cum laude. Aiden Pressler. Georgios Provatas. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Environmental Engineering Technology, greeted by Professor of Environmental Engineering Technology, Dr. Diba Khan-Bureau. Madison Britton, cum laude, also receiving a certificate in Environmental Health and Safety Management. Jer Johnson. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Exercise Science, greeted by Interim Director of Nursing and Allied Health, Dr. Cynthia Arpin. Larissa Bailey, cum laude. Skylar Vumbeck. Next group of students will be graduating with Associate in Science and General Studies, greeted by Professor of Sociology and International Studies, Dr. Stephen Neufeld. Sophie Aruste, cum laude. Preston Beal. Cassie Bingham. Aliana Bryan. Raymond Concepcion, magna cum laude. Amber D'Souza. May Ann Padilla Evans. Christopher Gabinelli, cum laude. Michaela Jackson. Eloise John. Joanna Joseph. Alyssa Kondradowicz. Lori Boucher, summa cum laude. Aviana Nash, cum laude. Paola E. Nunez. Jessica Odo. Jennifer Park. China Paruccio. Marisol Rios.
Selena Robinson, magna cum laude. Lori Valanem, team. Elissa Washington. Aliana Sophia Woodhams. The next group of students will be graduating with an Associate in Science and Graphic Design, greeted by Professor of Graphic Design and Communication, Kevin Amonte. Devin Brown. Casey Gagnier. Jordan Leroy. Emmy Romanelli. Jazir Saint Hilaire. Melissa Tucker. Sabrina Tyree, magna cum laude, also receiving an associate in arts and liberal arts and sciences. The next group of students will be graduating with an associate in science and human services, greeted by Department Chair of Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Terrence Delaney. Monica Dogbe. Vicky Miller, summa cum laude. Herminia Liz Torre. The next group of students will be graduating with an associate in science and mechanical engineering technology, greeted by Department Chair of Business and Technologies, Mark Cornell. Olivia Kenyon, cum laude. The next group of students will be graduating with an associate in science and nuclear engineering technology, greeted by Professor of Nuclear Engineering Technology, Dr. James R. Sherrard. Kira Burlington McCord, cum laude. Alicia Goldstein Rosales, magna cum laude. Robert Holland. Noah Johnson. Theodore Capanos, cum laude. Han Lamb. Andrew Lambert. Anthony Mazzola. Ryan McAnally. Ryan Nobles.
Way to go, Ryan! Woo!
Heather Poole, magna cum laude. Justin Relaz. Dominic Saguped. Andrew Tavanay, cum laude. Sarah Van Valkenburg, summa cum laude. Conrad Waters, cum laude. Thomas Whitman III. Christopher Williams. The next group of students will be graduating with an associate in science and nursing. No spirit in the nursing. Greeted by Interim Director of Nursing and Allied Health, Dr. Cynthia Arpin. Heather Adamek. Renee Allard, cum laude. Isaiah Alvarado. Maria Andrade. Samantha Armstrong. Stacy Bellinger, cum laude. Jeremy Billings. Lily Covey. Erica DeAnge. Megan Drew. Caitlin Druin, cum laude. Christina Dufresne. Melissa Emanuel. Danielle Fahey. Brooke Fitch. Bonnie Freitas. Lindsay Glennon. Devin Godbout. Cassandra Hendricks, cum laude. Lisa Holiday. Yufan Huha. I'm sorry. Lindsay Lemery. Nancy Lynn. Nicole Martinez Chavez. Jocelyn Matulis. Brittany McConnell. Stephen Moniz Jr., cum laude. Emily Merrill. Stacy Miles. Tiffany Norrigan. Gwen Opert. Tessa Plummer, cum laude. Elizabeth Robbins. Haley Samuelson. Bronwyn Seaman, cum laude. Cheryl Sylvester. Kajinga Chalangze. Crystal Vader. Kelsey Wilson, cum laude. Sarah Wright. Whitney Zajac. The next group of students will be graduating with a certificate in library technology, greeted by Dr. Terrence Delaney. Sandra Bailey, sum cum laude. Catherine Fox, magna cum laude. Ashley Rodriguez, summa cum laude. Next group of students will be graduating with a certificate in mechanical and electrical manufacturing basics, greeted by Department Chair of Business Technologies, Mark Corner. Vanessa Golden.
Will all the graduates please rise? You may now move your tassel from the right to the left, signifying your status as new graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the class of 2022. You now join a wonderful group of peers, the Three Rivers Alumni Association. Betty Belargin, Director of Institutional Advancement and a member of the class of '94, will give the alumni charge to our graduates. I would like to ask Betty to come to the podium.
On behalf of the Three Rivers alumni community, we congratulate you on your academic accomplishments. Today, by virtue of your graduation, you are joining other Three Rivers alumni as members of the Alumni Association. As you move forward continuing your education, career path, or building upon your family, we are counting on you to remember Three Rivers. This is your college. Go out and distinguish yourselves in Three Rivers by succeeding in your life's goals. Stay in touch. Let our advancement office know where you are and what your latest accomplishments and achievements are. Remember that you have a community of supporters behind you that believe in your ability to succeed. Your efforts will help ensure that years from now, you will still be able to point with pride to your graduation. Once again, congratulations and warmest welcome to the proud family of Three Rivers alumni.
Thank you, Betty, and thank you to our new alumni.
Please sit down. To our newest graduates, I am so proud of you. Regent Howery, thank you for your good wishes and for honoring us today with your presence. Regional President Steinmetz, thank you for your presence and support today. Thank you, Professor Silvaggio, Mark Trementozzi, Betty Belargin, Amber D'Souza, and Lorenzo Enderle. Your words to the graduates and all of us are meaningful and inspirational. Dean Barfield, Dean Getches, Associate Dean Bailey, and Professor Munzer, our Grand Marshal, thank you. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. I also want a round of applause for our efficient and talented commencement committee and to our incredible facility staff for making today possible. Let's give them a round. Graduates, before you leave, this will be the last time that I speak to you. So I want to wish you good luck as you pursue your future. Find your passion. Get involved in the communities in which you work and live to make a difference. Celebrate life daily and be thankful for all that you have. And most importantly, stay in touch. Take pride in your accomplishments. Today is a testimony to your hard work, your perseverance, your determination. We are proud of you, and remember, in the words of Harriet Tubman, noted American abolitionist, always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. Good luck, God bless you, and it was a privilege to be with all of you to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Thank you, faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates, for being a part of today's celebration. Following today's ceremony, we ask the audience and graduates to please remain in place until the platform party has exited the stage through the center aisle. Graduates, please follow the platform party, and later please remember to pick up your lawn sign. We ask family and friends to exit at the outer sides to meet your graduate for photos. Thank you.
This concludes the 57th annual commencement exercises of Three Rivers Community College.
Tell off somebody's cap. But no, because it's lost and found. Okay. Bring it to security. Yeah, we'll bring it to security. Well, stop the recording first. Bye.